Hello everyone and welcome back to Always Watching. Today we are discussing the new film Coney Island Cousins. Briefly, the film follows two distant cousins who meet in Coney Island for a night out, but their moment is interrupted when they encounter a dead body with deep pockets which will forever change their lives. This was a very promising film and it almost reminded me of Anora in some ways. The film starts with a not so happy reunion between cousins Val and Yulia. Yulia is an actress and a stand-up comedian who just wants to spend time with her overworked cousin Val. The movie kicks off when Yulia invites Val for a wild night out at a rich old man's home. When the man accidentally dies of an overdose, Yul and Valia find themselves in a very desperate situation. Not only do they have to flee, they have to find a way to rob this man enough to start over again. I think the film could have been incredibly compelling if most of it took place in the apartment and it exclusively focused on Yul and Val's deteriorating relationship. Val and Yulia have a lot of pent-up frustrations and misconceptions about one another. I think the film could have struck a better balance between comedy and drama had it taken its time with Val and Yulia's relationship by digging deeper into the roots of their relationship and how their misconceptions about one another really affected their self-confidence and self-perception. Val is going through a very difficult time in her life. She's not able to have children, and this is taking a strain on her relationship. And Yulia is at a dead end. She's been trying to make it as a comedian and actress for some time, but things have not been working out in the way that she had hoped. At first, the old man's death creates a very strong sense of urgency, and unfortunately this urgency dies over time. Much of the film actually takes place in this apartment and involves Yulia and Val trying to figure out what to do with his body and how to take his money, and I really enjoyed this part of the film. And I almost wish they honed in on this, because this would have been a very easy and simple way to not only unpack their relationship, but also figure out who this man was. From what we see of this man, he seems very dangerous, he seems very unstable and very rich. The fact that no one really came for him aside from those wanting his money really spoke to the kind of person he was. I think the lack of concern about the man's death and the absence of any real fear as to whether or not the police would find out or anybody else would find out left the movie feeling a bit scattered and unfocused. We are introduced to two characters, his mistress and a potential love interest, and these were really interesting characters because one could have offered a window into this man's life and the other one could have really, again, fleshed out the differences between the cousins. But the relationship never really goes beyond the surface level. I thought the introduction of this potential love interest could have been really compelling, especially considering both cousins really liked him. But I don't think the movie had enough time to really build that tension between them because he comes in at a very awkward time and he's not given much to do. And I think because the movie has so many moving parts, some of the emotional depth is sacrificed. There are moments in this film that really made me laugh. There's a scene where they're performing this stand-up comedy act and it's genuinely entertaining. And I think just a tighter script or maybe more time would have helped allow these comedic moments to flow more naturally. Overall, I think this film had a lot of potential. There's definitely a lot of opportunities for growth. I think Alfred Padilla is definitely a filmmaker worth looking out for. And so if you've seen this movie, please let me know. Look out for it on streaming, particularly Prime Video. And until next time.